Hello my loves, it's Liz Ann here from High Vibes Life. Boy, has this been a crazy year. And the last, couple of weeks, few weeks, or even maybe a couple months for me now, I have just really struggled, and I know so many of you have as well, just keeping my vibes up and feeling like I don't want to just tear my hair out or just drop off the face of this earth, and being triggered a lot in 2020. And I know a lot of you, especially you empaths out there, those that are highly sensitive, I think everybody is having a rough time, but my heart goes out to those especially that are highly sensitive, and those that have been through abuse, and those that have other things on their plate that they're already at their max, and now they're facing this whole 2020 pandemic and the craziness of the elections coming up and all the fighting and upheaval throughout the whole world is just so unnerving. And I wanted to do a video and give you 7 things that you could do to help bring you some relief during this time so that you can keep yourself above water. These are 7 things that have been really helpful for me. Sometimes I have not always kept on top of them, and I have found when I don't keep on top of these 7 things that I spiral really fast because I am being triggered so deeply on so many levels. So hopefully these will be helpful to you. And I would also love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you're doing to help you get through this crazy time right now. What are some things that you could offer everybody out there that's helping you out? Some people might be just like, I'm smoking pot. Okay, let's scratch that. The first one that I'm going to offer is something that really helped me when I just felt like I could not get my vibes up no matter what I was doing. Maybe temporarily, maybe while I was doing it, I'd feel a little better, but as soon as it was over, they just fell away again. And I finally one night just literally had an emotional breakdown. I just started bawling, and I started bitching, and I started expressing everything that was bothering me. And when I was doing it, I felt really bad because I was, had other people present at the time, a couple other people present that I care about, and I felt bad. But empaths are like that. We care so much about everybody else that we tend to shove down our own emotions so as not to upset anybody else. And then they build up, and then they come out like a volcano when they finally do. They just erupt, and that's where I was. I was just at that eruption point, and I just had this meltdown. I just started bawling and saying, I hate this world, and just, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't belong here. And I just, everything that was on my mind, I hate going to the store, and everything I felt. I didn't care how it sounded. I didn't care what swear words I used. I just released it. I learned something from this because what I found out was I felt so much better after it was all done, and I bawled my eyes out. I literally calmed down inside, and the next day I felt better. I just felt so relieved. And I realized I needed to express more of what I was feeling. And another way you can do this is you can write about it. If you don't have somebody that you can talk to about your emotions, you can always write it down. But just freely express, because our emotions are basically our guidance system, and they help us to know how we're doing, and they need to be allowed to be expressed at times. And the more we allow space to express emotions as they come up, the less we're going to have that issue where it's all just going to be flooding out at one time, and we're going to have these big emotional breakdowns. So my first tip for you is to take time to talk about and release your emotions. Find somebody or get some pen and paper and really put down exactly how you're feeling. Don't mince words. Speak them, write them, whatever you need to do, but don't mince them. We are in a time where people are so censored all the time. They're trying to express themselves. We're trying to break out of this politically correct world that is so invalidating and so demeaning to humanity. And yet there's so much censoring going on at the same time. You know, if you say this or you have that opinion or you see something this way, you're going to have a whole flood. And it doesn't matter what side of the issue it is, you're going to have a whole flood of people on the other side that are going to mock you and make you feel like you're stupid for thinking the way you think. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. I have been following, I am an INFJ, and INFJs are known to really look at every side and every angle and every perspective. We overthink everything, really. And even so doing, and all the issues that I'm seeing out there, I can be tossed back and forth really easily because I do see both sides of so many issues. But I do still have my own opinions. And I'm afraid that as soon as I mention my opinion, there's going to be hell to pay from one of the groups. So it's almost just this like warlike mentality that's out there, that everybody just wants to kill each other and until they get the world that's subdued to their way of thinking. And that's not the world that we came into. We came into a world of diversity, and it's always going to be diverse. Anyways, I am digressing from what I got on here for. So my first tip is to find a way to express how you feel so you can just get it out. And that was just so detoxifying to my whole spirit when I did that. So my second tip is to pick your battles wisely. So there are so many issues out there. Like I said before, there's so much polarization and division, and each one of them is a rabbit hole to go down. And I see these memes out everywhere right now. It says, you know, are you going to go down the rabbit hole? Like it's a big tempting, like, come on, if you really want to know the truth, then let's go down the rabbit hole because that's what it is. And they're rabbit holes. They are like whirlwinds that'll just suck you in, any one of those. So if you're caught up in all of them, then you're not going to be able to have any peace or serenity because you're caught up in the whirlwind of all these issues out there. So my advice is, I think of that serenity prayer. It was the first prayer I ever began saying sincerely from my heart. And that was the serenity prayer that I had read somewhere. And I thought I loved it because it says, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So as we are facing so many different issues and battles and trying to get our world to some kind of normalization again, we need to pick our battles wisely. I would suggest finding something that means a lot to you, okay? And the rest kind of leaving it. So perhaps, like for myself, something that means a lot to me is child trafficking. That is something that I want to really see brought to an end. Human trafficking in general, but especially child trafficking, that I want to see an end to in this world. And so that's something that I will choose wisely to do something about, that I can. But even in picking your battles wisely, I also suggest that you make sure that you think about that serenity prayer and think about what you can change and what you cannot change. And I mean you personally. You might be a mom with children at home, so it might not be something that feasible for you to join groups and to go out marching and to doing all this type of work, but you may have a big social media following that you could bring awareness to, that you could put links up for phone calls, that you can put tips up about how to spot the child trafficking and what to do about it. And you could do little incremental things that you at a time without getting sucked into the enormity of it. So you don't have to eat the whole cake, so to speak. You can just pick a part that you're able to do and that can keep you still in balance. Because when it's all said and done, we need people in this world that have a balanced, beautiful life as an ensign to people that feel completely chaotic. And some people are in a living hell, and we need to be an ensign to those people. And if we take our lives because we think we need to be so involved in all these issues and we just become a mess ourselves, we're really not helping anybody in the long run. We're just actually contributing to the problem rather than being a part of the solution. We need to keep ourselves happy and healthy and well so that we're an ensign for hope for people that need that and want that. And we have the steps in the way to that. We need to hold that space for them. So pick your battles wisely. Just, think about your value system and think about what means a lot to you. And then, what one you want to focus on. I mean, as far as the politics goes, you don't have to get involved in the battle of it if that's not your thing. You could just know who you're going to vote for and do your part to vote, and then just leave the rest. Leave the rest, because again, it's not something that you can control anyways, and all it's going to do is suck you into a whirlwind. Number 3, so important. This has been so important to me, and if I leave this off, I definitely regret it. And that is, have a ritual, a spiritual ritual to fill your cup up. So have a time and space and ritual that you do on a daily basis, and make it like your food. It's your spiritual food. It's like you wouldn't go very long without eating or drinking. You need this spiritual food. And for me, it's just early in the mornings before anybody else is up, I do my meditation, I do my gratitudes, my prayers, I write my intentions, I journal. My ritual is to light a candle, put crystals out, clean the area out, dust it off, get all the debris, and to burn a little sage and clear the area up of any stagnant energy. I usually take for myself a minimum of an hour every morning to do that. And I know everybody's time frames are different, when you can do it, how long you can do it, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you want to survive the craziness in this world right now and you want to stay above water, make time for your spirit to calm your central nervous system down, to have peace, to find that place of peace inside of you, that the eye of the storm, which is within you, to find that and to sit there for a while and to just be still before you go into your day, and to set your intentions out for the day, and to really think about your values, and to think about what you're grateful for and what is good going on in your life, and that type of thing. So that's my number 3 tip for you to help you get some relief during this pandemic, is create a ritual space of time to feed your soul. Number 5 is to just check in with yourself regularly. So all throughout the day, ask yourself, how am I feeling and what do I need? And this is something that highly sensitive people and empaths have to start incorporating and practicing, because we don't do that naturally. We are always thinking about, how does my dog feel? How does my child feel? How does my spouse feel? How do my coworkers feel? How does the world feel? What's the pulse of the world? Everything. We're constantly worried. It's ingrained in us because we are so highly sensitive, and because it disturbs us so much when other people are not happy. And so we are so tuned in to everybody else and how they feel. So it's so important to start making a habit as often as you can think of it throughout the day, whether you're feeling bad or feeling good. Just say, how am I feeling right now? And what do I need right now? And what can I do to feel even better? Those are the 3 things that I ask. How am I feeling? What do I need? And what can I do to feel even better? And just do that on a regular basis and pamper yourself during this time as well. So check in with your needs, figure out what feels pampering to you. For me, I take, warm baths with Epsom salts, and My yoga's pampering to me, reading, having my sacred space that I was telling you about. Those type of things are very pampering to me, or making sure I do my nails. That, I don't have big, beautiful nails, but I like them to look decent. Just taking care of myself in general. So check in with yourself. Number 6 is to protect your energy. So protect your vibes, basically. Be aware of what is, when you start feeling really icky and depressed and just blah, that feeling of, what's the point of life kind of thing, that horrible feeling. I hate that feeling. When you feel that, ask yourself why. What started it? What got it going? Is it just like, a lot of times I notice when I go out into town, I come back feeling that way. And I think it's because the energy out there is so intense right now, and I'm empathic and highly sensitive, and going out and, not being able to see people's faces, and, it's just, you don't have the same connection and with humanity right now. And we need connection. Humans need to be connected to other people. And also music, if I listen to certain type of songs or certain types of music, or songs that trigger me back to certain places in my life that I was depressed or traumatized or whatever, those type of things can, even though they may not be a huge trigger, they will kind of put this leak in my energy and kind of suck on me until I don't have anything left. So I have to protect what I listen to, what I watch. I try not to watch anything that's depressing and has a lot of violence and fighting and that type of thing in it right now, because there's so much of that going on in our world anyways, and I just don't want to add to that. So right now, like, we've been watching, we just started watching Little House on the Prairie series, literally, and it's actually felt really good just to go back to on the timeline and to a simpler time. And we watch Andy Griffith at night before we go to bed, and I love Ghost Whisperer, and I just find things that actually feel good to me. What I watch, what I listen to, who I hang around with, all that. I don't watch the news. I turn it off, because if I put the news on, inevitably fear and anxiety start to take hold on me, because that's all it's trying to put out there right now. It's not trying to inform you or help you. It's trying to trigger you and to make you feel fear and anxiety, because people that are fearful are easy to control. And that's a whole nother subject, but I would just be really careful about listening to or watching the news, the mainstream news. So, and even, sources that we feel are real reliable, limit that even. If you feel like you need to get on for a certain reason, that's one, go ahead. I'm not saying don't do it, or if it doesn't affect you, but if it is affecting you negatively, then limit your time watching it, if not doing away with it altogether. So protect your energy. Number 7, laugh. I'm gonna laugh right now, but seriously, we have got to laugh more and play. So I was just thinking about this the other day, and with children, and they get up, they're carefree, because they're not, they're not at a place in life where they're all in their head. They're still living from their spirit and from their heart, from that pure, authentic, true place that we're trying so desperately to get back to. But they get up, their whole day and their whole life is about play. It's about, what can I do next that would be fun? Literally, think about if we were living that way. What sounds fun to do next? What would be fun? I mean, even when they have to do chores, they literally, like, parents can really help them to do a really good job when they make it fun, when they teach them how to do it in a fun way, when they teach them that this isn't something to not want to do. They pick up on our vibes. So it's when it's like, go clean your room, that becomes a negative thing. Okay, another subject again. I digress again. So it's a whole nother subject. But watch children. They laugh and they play. and they're high vibe. Most children are very high vibe unless they're being traumatized in some way. So, you know, it says a little child shall lead them, take some wisdom from them, find reasons to laugh. Like I told you, I watch Andy Griffith. We laugh at that, you know. I try to find the humor in life. There's so many things out there that are funny. My dog makes me laugh. My grandkids make me laugh. My daughter can make me laugh. My husband even can be funny sometimes. And, you know, going out in society and watching people can be, you know, have a certain amount of humor in it. And just find reasons to laugh, to have a sense of humor, and to play and to have fun. I made a list the other day of things that, you know, as a child or just growing up or in the past that I did that I just did because it was fun to do, like jump roping or playing canasta, playing games, you know, checkers, or riding a bike or putting some skates on and going skating down the road, and just things like that that I've gotten so far away from in the last few years, and have almost felt like I've forgotten how to play. And so I made this huge list of things I can do that are just play, that are just fun to do. So I have it on hand. So if I feel like I need a springboard for some ideas, I can get my list out. But that's one thing that you could do if you want. But find time to laugh and to play. Okay, and the last tip I have that I feel like is probably just the clincher of it all, and that is just to get on with living. I feel like this 2020 has kind of tried to put the brakes on our life, and that's probably been the most scary part, the most frustrating part about it, is people feeling like life's coming to a halt. Life as we've known it is coming to a halt. But it isn't at a halt yet. And so right now, today, get on with life. Get on with living. And one of the ways to shift your mind from this idea that things are, you know, they're trying to say this is the new normal, and trying, you know, to make people almost, it feels oppressive. That's all I'm going to say. It just feels oppressive, the new normal that they're trying to push out there. And I feel like in order to shift that, just ask yourself, okay, what if life was ending? What if the world as we know it right now was going to explode in a year? It was going to come to a complete end. What's important to me for this next year? What is the most important to me? My family, my close relationships, my dog, loving on my dog, watching sunsets and sunrises, laughing, making memories, playing those board games, going for a bike ride, swimming in lakes, enjoying life, right? So to me, when you ask yourself that question and you keep that in the forefront and write those values down, that's your true values. That's your end of the life values. When you get to the end of your life, and if life as we know it was going to completely end, this world was going to come to a complete end within a year, what would you do differently, and how would you think differently? No doubt some people would just go off in a corner and be depressed for that whole year, but some people will be like, oh man, I've got a year left, I'm going to make the best of it. So get on with life, live, laugh, make memories, get in touch what means a lot to you, what your values really are. Get in touch with that and live in the integrity of that. So I'm going to do a really quick recap. I'm going to go over my notes here, and I'm going to go fast through it, and it might not be in the order that I just did it because my notes are kind of all over the place. So release it. So release your emotions. Allow your emotions to be released by talking to somebody, by writing, whatever you need to do, but let it out. Don't censor yourself. Release your emotions and be okay with what they are, and that way they can shift. Because what happens when you actually release those emotions is you change their structure within you, and you actually move it out of you. So release it. Know what you have control over and let the rest go. Pick your battles wisely. Make time for your spirit. Have a ritual, a daily ritual. Be very, very protective over your energy and what you listen to and what you watch and who you hang around. Protect your vibe, protect your energy. Pamper yourself, check in with yourself. Some of the things that you can do to help clear your energy really quick, because I forgot to say these, is you can take Epsom salt baths, you can do yoga, you can sage, you can get out in nature, go for a walk, clear your home, clear yourself, clear your energy when you check in with yourself on a daily basis. Do things to clear your energy, to get the icky, sticky, because energy is, thought forms can stick around and energy can get dense around you, and it does affect your mood. So finding ways to clear your energy, like getting outside, getting on the ground, on the earth, getting your feet on the earth, or even your whole body laying on the grass, or going for a walk in nature, and saging clears energy out, and taking baths with essential oils and Epsom salts, or cleansing baths, and drinking clear water, lots of clear, cool water, those type of things. I love to even take a feather and just clear my energy with the feather, like brush it around and just think of the energy just floating away, because again, it is a real thing. It isn't just in the head. There's energy around us that gets clogged up. So clear your energy. Laugh, play, and get on with life. I hope that some of these things will be helpful for people out there that maybe are just struggling to feel like living life right now, maybe feeling really depressed, or just those depressive feelings coming on them, and they're just struggling with them. So I'm hoping these tips will help you. I'm going to leave a list of the tips beneath as well, so that way you can kind of read through them as well. If you've liked this video and it has been helpful, you can support me by giving it a thumbs up, by leaving a comment. Tell me which one helped you, telling me what you're doing. I would love to hear that. Other people would love to hear from you as well. Or you could share the video with somebody that might be able to benefit from it. Thank you, all of you that have subscribed to my video. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate that you've taken this time to listen to this video. I know it hasn't been short. It's been a long one. So thank you for being here. Hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.